the Fleadh plays, well, it was a great experience, the world Fleadh Cahill coming to Cavan, so you know, it's the biggest thing ever and ever will happen to Cavan, I imagine. And so I approached the arts office with the idea of putting on 7 site-specific plays that are in different location or landmarks around the town. And what I wanted to do is tell the history of the town from the days of the Farnham estate right up to the closure of the head shops, the legal highs. So I wanted to have a huge span of the history of Cavan. So 7 locations. We'd one at the Lord Farnham statue, and it was about 2 barstool Republicans who wanted to chop off the head of Lord Farnham, and they get kidnapped, or they kidnap a security guard, and through that the history of the Farnham estate came out. And the next play we had was The Ghost of Owen Roe. Well, this is the old Franciscan Abbey, which is one of the locations for one of the Fleadh plays during the town on stage. It was called The Ghost of Owen Roe, and apparently Owen Roe O'Neill was buried here many years ago in the 1600s in Cavan. And Owen Roe O'Neill was one of the he was a leader of the gang of rebels during the rebellion against the English army, basically. So I kind of flipped the idea on where it was a modernised adaptation where a gang of drug dealers come out and stand on top of his grave, and they're led by a guy called O'Neill. And then as he's bullying his army, or his gang of drug dealers, Owen Roe rises from the dead and basically tells him the evils of his way. And it was very funny to see all the kids getting scared seeing Owen Roe rising from the grave. But that was one of the Fleadh plays, and it was a huge success.
The town hall in Cavan, I must say, did an awful lot for youngsters, for their future as regards acting, entertaining, music, dancing, you name it. And in doing so, the Fleadh Cahill, I might add just a word or two, that there are many wonderful people in Cavan. Martin Donoghue, who is an extremely talented musician, eventually, after a lot of hard work with the aid of the council and various other organisations, he pushed it and we got the All-Ireland Fleadh, which was a big success, and thank God we're having the Fleadh Cahill back again next year.
Then we had to play it at the Old Mill, and we set that outside, started outside the Kinney Pottle River, which used to be a ducking stool where we used to kill and torture people. So we had a live ducking in the middle of the river, where we got an unfortunate actor, Mark Connolly, fair play to him. He was being ducked in the water by masked men, and all the audience had participation in that. We handed out rotten fruit to them, and they were throwing fruit at him. So it was like a reenactment of what happened before. And then the play moved into the Old Mill itself, where a gang of drinkers started playing a Ouija board. The play was called The Drunk Ouija Board, and raised the dead spirit of the guy who just died outside. The next play was in Blessing's Pub, which is called Murder on Main Street, and it was based on the McCabe's. And McCabe's came to Ireland in the 1300s and worked as mercenaries, or murderers, if you want to put it that way, for the O'Reilly clan. So this play was based on 2 hitmen called McCabe's doing a job for a gangster called O'Reilly. So as you can see, it was a radical reinterpretation. And then we had the play at the St Clair's Convent, and this is probably the most poignant and important play that I've ever written. And it was about the orphanage fire, which happened in the 1940s, where 35 children died and 1 woman. And we actually performed it in the building where the fire took place, and that got a huge response. I mean, we had to turn hundreds upon hundreds of people away each night from that. So we're going to be running that again, hopefully. So yeah, the whole thing was an epic adventure. We had over 50 actors, 6 directors, including myself, and to see so many people from all different generations and different classes coming to see the plays was a huge experience for me, and you know, it was one of the biggest and enjoyable things I've ever done. The future of the Gonzo Theatre, world domination. No, the future really is of sorry, I'll do that again. We'll continue on doing what we do with bringing in different poets and storytellers and musicians from around it's great to have a theatre in the town, and it's great to have a new theatre in the county. But over the next year, I want to make it a national venue, so where all international, national acts, whether they're comedy, music, or theatre, when they come to do the circuit around Ireland, that the Gonzo will be on the tip of their lips and be part of that circuit.
But plant is definitely the next thing I'd like to use. Big machines. I think we could do it maybe, you know, a small digger. Those small diggers.
A bulldozer, possibly.
It's a bit big to bring into a stage.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to work on something like that, you know. And more scantily clad women.
Yeah.
We also want to start bringing in, you know, top quality acts from all over. But the most important thing is the grassroots, like having the Gonzo Club, to give people the opportunity to perform here, to allow them to create new ideas and experiment here. And we've also got the Gonzo Youth, which is a youth theatre company, and make sure that the theatre is here to stay, and that the arts will be continuing in Cavan, and it'll go further afield. The times that's in it, it's one of those shows that you can tour anywhere. All we need is an audience, really. So it's you know, that's one project that we're going to do. And there's Tommy Shark.
Tommy Shark, here he comes. No, I didn't even know you were away.
This is the guy who was the ghost of Monroe, the actor that we buried.
I didn't know you were doing that. I didn't see you looking in the way. Just think of me as a ghost. Good luck. Cool. How do we end this now?